Good morning, dreamers. It is December 10th, 2023, and this is episode 11 of the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. Happy Sunday to you all. I hope life is going well. You're following your dreams. So, did I just burp? Did you guys hear that? I got to tell you something. It is really fascinating what has been happening as I've become determined to put myself out there since I started doing this podcast. And that people actually care enough to criticize and to troll and to just make obnoxious, critical, dumb comments on social media. Maybe that shouldn't be a shock to me at this day in time, but it still just never ceases to amaze me. I posted a video on my YouTube, and it's actually a clip from my podcast where I talk about getting heckled in the dirt of the back windshield of my car. And I posted that little segment on YouTube, and in the segment, I talk about how this person had written in the dirt of my windshield, "Didn't laugh, not funny." So I post that, and then some asshole on YouTube comments and says, "Well, you're not funny, so where's the lie?" I'm just going, well, first of all, I never said anybody was lying. What I'm actually talking about in that clip was how shocked I am of just how many assholes there are in the world that just don't have anything better to do than to write in the dirt of a windshield of a comic or to leave a dumbass YouTube comment. It blows my mind. I wonder how much of those YouTube comments are actually done by real people. I don't mean to get too conspiracy here, but is there a possibility it's just some like AI account just generated by some computer hacker or some, Russian spies who are trying to infiltrate our government by controlling social, who knows? I've heard all those types of conspiracies. But assuming it's actually just some human being who caught a glimpse of me talking about how ridiculous it is that there are such hateful, critical people here, and then their response to that is to say something stupid and critical. Somebody else commented, this is the other thing, is the advice that I get, like unsolicited advice in comments. Somebody else commented and said something like, dude, you need to be more lighthearted. Why don't you try making a joke about it? Don't be so serious. First of all, I wasn't being serious. Secondly, that's exactly what I was doing, was actually not really making a joke, but just making a mockery of just how much time people have on their hands. So, anyway, like an idiot, sometimes I actually respond to those people, which that's probably what the universe is trying to teach me. That's my growth moment. My character growth opportunity is to just stop giving an F about, whatever morons or AI-generated bots are out there with nothing better to do than to just leave ridiculous, hateful, critical comments. Yeah, well, you're not funny. Going, well, you want to know what? I have hundreds and hundreds, actually over thousands of comedy performances that would beg to differ. And what's funny is sometimes I actually go to those people's profiles, and so far, nobody who's ever heckled me actually has anything going on in their social media. Like, I go to their social media, I'm going, well, what are they putting out there? You want to know what they're putting out there? Nothing. Almost zero subscribers, no posts. That's why I wonder if they're even real, if they're AI, or if they're just human beings who just create a YouTube account and their lives are so bottomless and empty and worthless that they have nothing better to do than to find people who are out there chasing their dreams and doing their best to be vulnerable and transparent and put their comedy or put their art out in the world And because they don't contribute at all they can do is go, not funny. You should have done it this way. Going, well, actually, no, maybe you should do anything. Why don't you try doing something? Let's see how it goes for you. I keep thinking of that Brené Brown quote where, once she blew up, she just started talking about some of the hatred. Oh my gosh, the comments that she would get. And here's this incredibly beautiful, talented, compassionate, empathetic, intelligent human being who is contributing so much to the mental health community and just the human beings in general. And people still have nothing better to do than to cast shade. But if you're familiar with Brené Brown's work, you know that she was real big on quoting I think it was Franklin Roosevelt, the man in the arena speech, where the credit goes to the people actually in the arena, not in the people in the cheap seats or the people with a YouTube account with no followers and no subscribers who don't actually contribute anything but can still find content and just leave pointless, baseless comments. But anyway, in one of her books, she said that when it comes to actually receiving feedback, because there is another side of that, which is when we are putting our art out there and trying to grow as artists or dreamers or whatever it is that we're trying to do, there is such a thing as getting valuable feedback to take into consideration as I continue to improve and grow as an artist. And there is such a thing as taking good advice. Brené Brown's point is that, first of all, she's not interested in anybody's advice if they are not also in the arena with her. I think that is a very good litmus test. Who's talking to me? What are they saying? Why are they saying it? What makes them feel that they actually know what they're talking about? And the first thing to look at is, well, is this person actually in the arena? Are they out there hustling? Are they out there posting stuff on social media every day? Are they out there doing stand-up comedy routines and going to open mics and writing material and submitting to bookers and traveling and honing their craft? If so, first of all, I don't think anybody who's actually out there doing it has the time to just sit there and comment negatively. Secondly, if they actually do have the time and actually care about me and my career individually, they would probably present their feedback in a far more digestible and appropriate manner than commenting negatively on social media. And so if you're not in the arena with me, if you're not out there, if you don't have a dream, and if you're not going for it, if you're not putting yourself out there, if you're not being vulnerable, then I just don't really care what you have to say. It bothers me for a little bit. It still does. So again, that's my growth moment. Yes, I need to learn that anybody who leaves comments like some of the comments I got today, that they are absolutely not worth my time, and that I just have bigger and better things to focus on. And for all the dreamers out there, I'll tell you, that is just going to be I'm learning more and more that it's just going to be a constant. That I do not think it is possible to have a dream that involves any sort of artistic pursuit, because any artistic pursuit demands visibility. If you're going to be artistic, somebody has to consume the art, and to be successful at it, lots of people have to consume the art, and there's really no other way to do it than to put yourself out there as much as possible to allow those who will appreciate it, those who will resonate with it, to find you and to find whatever it is that you're doing whether that's an artistic pursuit, a business pursuit, any sort of entrepreneur. I think it's very similar for entrepreneurs. I mean, anybody who ever said, hey, I want to start a business, probably gets, I would assume, about the same amount as criticism and negativity as any sort of artist. I want to be an actor. I want to be a singer. I want to be a musician. I want to be a comedian. I want to be a writer. I want to be a director. I want to be whatever it is. And I'm just learning more and more that that's par for the course and that it's probably never going to go away. And if anything, as my influence grows and expands, it's actually just going to get more. Because it seems that, as far as I can tell, that any dreamer who puts themselves out there, so there's a vulnerability aspect and there's a visibility. It's, you're in a herd of gazelles and you're kind of popping your head out of the herd saying, actually, I have some different ways of looking at things and I don't know, and I feel like I have a unique perspective than the rest of my fellow herd animals. And for the rest of the herd just staying down, not popping their head out, I feel like there's a sense of entitlement of, oh, well, that person has popped their head out. They think they're special. They think they're a big deal. So I am therefore justified in trying to get that gazelle to lower their head back down and be like, no, you're like the rest of us. I don't know if that analogy works or not, but that's where my mind is. So for all my dreamers out there who's been hated on, I hear you, I see you, and just a big ol' F 'em. Just F. In the words of Elon Musk, go F yourself. I'm editing for YouTube. Go F yourselves. The haters, they're just always going to be there. And I assume they probably serve some purpose in the grand scheme. But I would also say this. If there are people hating on you, if you are getting shade and it's from people who are not in the arena, but you know in your heart that you're on the right path, to me, the fact that somebody is hating on you is further indication that you are on the right path. Because if you weren't doing something that was getting people's attention to even criticize in the first place, then you're probably not putting yourself out there as much as you probably need to. So, my lovely friends, let's keep on the journey. Keep out there, putting yourself out there, and let the YouTube users with 3 subscribers and no videos and no content say what they're going to say. And guess what? We're going to go live our dreams anyway. And we're going to have incredible, fulfilling, and joyful lives, regardless of what sort of snarky comments some faceless person can put online. So much love to all of you out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. This, again, is December 10th, 2023, episode 11 of the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. Keep dreaming, everybody.